Hey guys, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel. I am here with another video. This is not a panning project. It's not a craft project. It's actually a makeup rehab. I can't even believe I'm saying that out loud. I have tried things in the past to curb my spending with makeup and things just did not work out for me. I think the last time I tried it, I did the points method like Paula does. And it was 2 years ago, and I think I ended up like 183 points in the hole, like midway through the year, and just gave up. So I was like, whatever. But Jen from Project Beauty and I had been talking about doing some sort of makeup rehab. We're like, listen, we have been going nuts this year. We're buying all the things, and it's been so much fun. But we need to chill out a little bit and start enjoying and using our collections. You know, you guys have seen my inventories. You've seen my, oh, the shame, as in it's a shame I'm not using you, product containers. You've seen my buys and buys with all the things that are coming into my collection and the lack of things going out because I'm just not the greatest panner. Warning, guys, this is going to be rambly and all over the place. So we were talking about like, what could we do? You know, we kind of wanted to do some sort of point system, but we really wanted to like take it easy and make it easy for ourselves. So yes, this is going to come across as there's a lot of loopholes and it's fairly easy, but we knew that if we made it too hard, we wouldn't be able to be successful at it. And that is the primary goal, is bringing in less things than we did this past year, which shouldn't be too hard considering how many things I brought in. But then we got talking with Deb and Danny, and they wanted to do something as well, but they wanted to do something like harder than us. So they're also doing some sort of low buy, no buy type thing. So you should go check out Deb and Danny as well. Check out Jen from Project Beauty. Her and I are doing this more alike. Deb and Danny are also doing it, but their project is going to be different. Shelly from Unapologetically Shelly mentioned something to me and was like, I really got to get on board with some sort of low buy. So she also, I think she already posted her video, so she's doing it as well. Andrea from Pretty as a Peacock was like, well, I kind of want to as well, but I'm just not going to film it. So there's a bunch of us doing this. I'll leave everybody's channel names in the description box below. Again, Andrea's not filming, but she is participating. Maybe she'll do some sort of like update once in a while. I'm not sure. But Jen and I really thought about like, how did we want to do this? So while our rules are the same, we may end up changing things for ourselves going forward. For example, I know that there's going to be some months where she was talking about doing a complete no buy, and I don't know that I'm going to do that. She was saying maybe she was going to do some category no buys. I may do that, I may not. So we're going to keep our point systems the same, I'm pretty darn sure, but we may do different things from each other as far as like categories or holidays. Like I like to get myself something for my birthday and Christmas. I don't have a spouse. I don't really get a ton of birthday presents. So for me to buy myself something and treat myself, I love that. Black Friday is like a huge shopping period for me, and I want to afford myself the luxury to do what I want. I'm going on a vacation next year. I want to buy whatever I want to buy. So there's certain things where like I just kind of want no rules, but I also want rules for certain things. So you'll see, I'll kind of go over everything. I'm going to be looking down because I did make some notes. So go check out Jen from Project Beauty. Go check out Deb from Debbie, Danny from Danny's Makeup, Shelly from Unapologetically Shelly, and possibly Andrea from Pretty as a Peacock, and see what their rules are, what they've come up with. So yeah, let me talk a little bit about my makeup rehab. Okay, so the first thing I decided to do was start with a bank of 25 points. Right off the bat, in January, I'm going to have 25 points. And my goal is not to use them, though, right away. Like, I don't want to use them right away, but whatever. I have a bank of 25 because I knew that I didn't want to start off with nothing. And I knew that I didn't want to rely on, like, how many empties did I have in December? That's how many points I'll give myself. Because sometimes, you know, you finish like a bunch of little things and you could have a bunch of points. Or maybe you finished one large item and you only have 1 point. So I wanted to just start with like, this is how much I have to spend at the beginning of the year. So that could be, 1 point could be an eyeshadow palette, a face palette, or it could be just like a brow pencil or a single shadow or a lipstick. So it's one item. So I'm not counting a 20 pan eyeshadow palette as 20 points. I know some people do. I did not want to do that. I wanted one in, one, you know, whatever. Okay. So 25 points. Basically, I'm doing a 1 in, 1 out rule with a little bit of change, exception. I'll get into that in a minute. So skincare, body care, hair care, nail care, and makeup counts as far as the 1 in, 1 out. So my camera got cut off, so I hope I'm in the right spot. So the second thing was I want to do some video content based off of, I have some ideas for videos I want to produce next year. Makeup that I purchase for video content does not count. So if I'm doing a full face of and I need to purchase a few more things, that's not going to count. But I don't anticipate doing like a ton of those, so this shouldn't inflate my collection like a ton. But I didn't want it to be like part of something that I chose that I would just go shop for and be really excited about if it's like a full face of, if that makes sense. PR that we might get, which I think I've only gotten like a couple of PR things from that eye method, and that really didn't count as PR. But like if we get PR, or like if an influencer type thing, or if I end up being eligible eventually for like Octoly, or if we get gifts from somebody, because like a couple of friends and I like to trade products and we'll do gifts toward each other. Not often, but a little bit. You've heard me say like, this was from Valerie, or this was from Ruth, or this was from Shelly or Jen or Jaylon, or, you know, everybody. Like we all sent Deb, you know, whatever. We all send each other stuff. So PR and gifts do not count as like part of my numbers. Let's see. Back to MAC, if we turn in things back to MAC and we get like a lipstick, that wouldn't count. Gifts with purchases, so if it's like you buy 3 NYX products, you get something for free, that free gift wouldn't count. And then replacement items, so for example, if I run out of all mascara, which you saw my mascara inventory, that's not going to happen anytime soon, and I replace that with a mascara, that doesn't count. If I buy 5 mascaras though, 4 of them would count and 1 of them wouldn't, if that makes sense. For my vacation, that's going to be a separate budget. That won't count. I mentioned that. Black Friday, I haven't quite decided yet. And then birthday and Christmas, that's not going to count either. So how do my points work? That's the next thing. So for example, if I use 5 foil samples, I'm going to count that as 1 point. So 5 of those little foil samples will be a point that I can add. So if I have 25 points in January and I only finish 5 foil samples, at the end of January I'll have 26 because I'll add 1 point. If I finish a mini or deluxe item, that will also count as 1 point, as well as full-size items. Finished pans in eyeshadow and face palettes. If we finish 1 pan in an eyeshadow palette or 1 pan in a face palette, that will count for 1 point toward our bank. We don't finish eyeshadow palettes or face palettes, so we wanted to give ourselves credit for finishing something if we finished it. For spending points, if I bought a face palette, that's only going to be 1 point. If I bought an eyeshadow palette, it's 1 point. Also, items bought with Ulta or Sephora points won't count either, because I've been saving mine so that when I do go on a low buy, I can purchase things without spending money. Because for me, yes, it is the amount of items, but I also want to save some money. I have a vacation coming up next year. I may have 2 others. I also have some things I want to do on my house. So it's kind of a combination of like items in and out and money generated. I also saw a couple of other people, like, I think it's just Steph did this. I can't think off the top of my head who else did some of these videos, but if I think of anybody, I'll list them on the screen here just so that you can kind of get ideas from what other people have done. But, you know, if you want to jump on this, let me know, and I'll certainly include you in my notes down below in the description box. And feel free to change it up. You know, if you're deciding to do a makeup rehab or some sort of low or no buy, let me know how you're doing. You know, comment down below. I am going to still treat this like a buys and buys. I may even call it my makeup rehab buys and buys, you know, something like that. But I will be updating this once a month, just like I normally do. So this is going to go up. And then in January, I will not update in January. I'll update for January and February, and then you know, for my February, I'll update in March. So you won't see anything about this probably until the beginning-ish of February, so that I can let you know how I did in January, if that makes sense. Oh, another thing, sample perfumes. 3 sample perfumes count as 1 point that we'll get back if we use 3 sample perfumes. So I'm trying to use things up, give myself points. Yeah, I'm a little nervous. I hope that this all works well for me. I kind of reserve the right to either, well, to modify this. Maybe I'll say 25 points is too many. I need to cut that back. Or I need to really start cutting down on this. So I can't count an eyeshadow palette as 1 item. I need to count it as 20 if it has 20 pans or something like that. So I'm learning as I'm going with this. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work out. The whole goal is to save some money and to not buy as many things as I did last year. And if by chance I do that, I will be so happy. The other piece of it is this year I did my Panning Your Way to 5K. And you'll see how I did with that soon. But I'm not doing like a pan your way to 5K, but I do want to keep track of monetary value for empties. For me, that's fun. It's interesting to see how much money is going in and out of my collection. So my spreadsheet is not only going to have points and my empties, but it's also going to have what did I bring in. It's going to have the points and it's going to have the monetary value. So it's going to be a little bit more work for me come empties time, but I think it'll be worth it. So I got to play around with my spreadsheet, but I'm really excited about this. So let me know if you have any ideas for me, if you think I should add anything out or subtract anything. I mean, you've seen me pan. Some of you, you know, I'm going on year 3 now. You've seen my purchasing habits. You've seen the way I pan, which is very slow. And you've really seen me kind of carte blanche, do whatever I want to do. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think too. May not take all your suggestions, but I certainly want to hear them and may write them down for the future, you know, and bring things in. So yeah, and let me know how you're doing. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point, so I'm going to let you guys go. But I really appreciate you watching, and I really appreciate you sticking around to see how I do with this next year. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you liked me and you want to hear more of my rambliness or see if I really do succeed or do I fail, how am I going to do next year? Yeah, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. I will talk to you soon. Bye.